Hi everyone, welcome back to the Code Street. This is Siddhant, and in this video we will be solving a problem which is known as spiral printing of an array. So what we will be basically dealing with is a two-dimensional array, and we will be printing it spirally. Now what do we mean by spiral printing? How do we solve it? How do we think about solving it? And eventually we will end up with this, and the eventual solution to the problem is what we will be doing and dealing with in this video. So before we can start off with the video, let us learn and try to understand a bit more about Newton School. So Newton School is actually an Edtech platform which guarantees you 100% placement without charging you a single rupee as fee until and unless you get placed with a minimum package of 5 lakhs per annum. Now Newton School is doing this initiative with a number of really great companies, and you can find out these companies on the platform that is newtonschool.co. So what Newton School does is Newton School has started a lot of really great courses, and these courses range from full stack development courses to courses designed for women and even working professionals. And after doing these courses you will be completely job ready. And in the recent time, Newton School has also started the Launchpad platform, under which it is giving away a number of really great courses taught by really great instructors entirely for free. And you can also earn yourself a course completion certificate after completing these courses. In the meantime, if you feel like doing any coding related stuff, you can always hop onto the Newton School Playground platform, and you can create your own algorithmic playground and start off with the work. So that is it about Newton School, and now let us get back to the video and the problem which lies at hand. So today's topic is about I guess we have done wave patterns, that is wave printing of a two-dimensional array. Today we will be doing spiral printing. So spiral printing of a two-dimensional array. So what do we mean by spiral printing? The thing is, for example, let us consider that I have an array like this. A very simple 4x4 array, my personal favorite 4x4, because things are simpler when we deal with them in a 4x4 way. So what happens is, if suppose these are the elements, let me first fill up the elements and then I will tell what happens. So if these are the elements, okay, so spiral printing of an array can be both clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. So what do we mean when we talk about clockwise spiral printing? So clockwise spiral printing means this way. Understood? So when we transcribe this into the array, what does it become? Let me take a different colored pen. This is what it means. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Alright, तो ऐसे हमें इसको प्रिंट आउट करना है, ठीक है? This is the path that it will follow, and this is how we will do it. So now how we will go about approaching this? Pause the video, take 2 minutes to think about it, and then you can of course resume the video and you can see how we can do it. Alright, so I hope that you have thought about it, and if you have come up with a solution, do cross check it with mine, and if you did not land up with a solution, there is no issue, we can still discuss it. तो हमें करना क्या है? What we are thinking of here is that very simple, 0,0 रो है, माने रो एंड कॉलम 0 0 से लेके m-1, n-1 तक है. So what we are doing eventually is that we are taking 4 pointers. Okay, we are actually taking 4 pointers. What are those 4 pointers? These 4 pointers are starting of the row, which is 0, ending of the row, which is m-1, starting of the column, which is again 0, and ending of the column, which is n-1. Alright, now what are we doing? हम एक एक करके एलिमेंट्स को ट्रैवर्स कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, फर्स्ट वी ट्रैवर्स दिस पोर्शन, only this portion, okay, till 1 till 4, 1 to 4 अपन ट्रैवल करेंगे and we will be printing this portion 1 2 3 4. Next we travel this segment 8 till 16. Next we travel this segment 15 till 13, then 9 to 5, then 6 to 7, then 11 to 10. Okay, so this is how we travel segment by segment and then we print it out eventually as well. Okay, so how are we going to do it? What we do is, just try to follow this. So what we do is, first of all, we take these pointers. I will ask that you code out the solution for this. I am giving you ample amount of hints. Like, all you have to do is just what I have given you as hint, you just follow those hints, and all you have to do is just append them together and the code will be ready, of course. So if these are the initial tracker pointers, as I call them, pointer elements or the tracker variables, if these are the tracker variables, then what I can call is until and unless my starting of the row is less than equals to the ending of the row, and then my starting of the column is less than equals to the ending of the column. Until and unless this condition is satisfied, we cannot progress forward, we cannot go about solving this problem. Okay, तो जब तक हमारी starting of the row जो है वो ending of the row से कम होगी value में, only then can we progress. Okay, otherwise it is not even a proper matrix, है ना. तो the first loop that we will be running, उसको अगर तुम समझ गए ना, if you understand the first loop, then all the remaining loops will be a very easy cakewalk for you. A cakewalk for you, really. उसको समझने की कोशिश करो एक बार. अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें, we are talking about 1 2 3 4. Okay, we are actually printing out the first row. However, we are traversing the column wise traversal. We are doing the column wise traversal. We are printing the first row, traversing column wise, printing the first row. Similarly, whenever we are going to print 8 12 16, you are printing the last column, however we are traversing row wise. So this is a kind of a tricky thing that might create a bit furor, but that is actually not something that you should be budging about. So let us start with it. And if my int I is equals to starting from start column, which is 0, suppose sc, and my this I is less than equals to end column, and each time it is I plus plus, then what happens is I will be printing out a of, what is my first row? My first row is SR and I. Starting row and I. Okay, so why do we print it like this? Because we have to print the element of the starting row. And what is the column? The column is the traversal that we are doing, I. Okay, so that is how we will be doing it. And the next thing that we have to do is, what do we have to do next? The next thing that we have to do is we will have to do SR plus plus. Now you will be asking, bhaiya ye SR plus plus ki, why do we have to do SR plus? What is the logic behind it? Try to understand. See, I will be using another colored pen here. Once we have dealt with 1 2 3 4, my next target is this one, right? But when I am dealing with this last column, it also includes 4 as well. It also includes 4 as well. But I have already printed 4 in my first row. So I cannot print 4 once again. So what I have to do is, since SR was initially pointing to this row, after printing this entire 1 2 3 4, SR plus plus kar diya. If I do SR plus plus, so SR now comes to this place. SR now comes to the next place, and now SR will be starting from 8 onwards. So now I can print 8, 12, 16. So what happens now is that my second loop, sorry, what I will be doing is I will be deleting it. My second loop, understand this very carefully. My second loop is actually starting from for I equals SR, till ER, where ER is the end of the row, isn't it? I equals to SR less than equals to ER, I plus plus. So that is it. And when we have done this, now what we should do is A of क्या होगा? A of रो ट्रैवर्स कर रहे हैं ना, तो I आएगा पहले, because that is how we should be traversing the row. And what are we doing? We are printing the last column. So end column EC. That is how we do it. And after this, what is that thing which we should either increment or decrement? First of all, make the decision. Increment करना है कि decrement करना है? 16 तक तो हो गया, ठीक है? Increment करेंगे कि decrement करेंगे? Pause the video and think about it. Increment या decrement? We will decrement because किसको पहली बात डिक्रीमेंट करना है? अच्छा, डिक्रीमेंट करना है तो किसको डिक्रीमेंट करना है? रो की कॉलम? कॉलम को डिक्रीमेंट करना है. क्यों? क्योंकि नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट आई एम टारगेटिंग इज दिस थिंग, राइट? दिस थिंग 15 14 13. 15 14 13 को प्रिंट करने के लिए क्या होगा? 13 14 15 के साथ 16 भी प्रिंट होगा, बट 16 is already printed in my 8 12 16. I cannot print it once again, which means what does it mean? It means that I will be doing EC minus minus. Understood? So EC, which landed up here, now lands up here. Pretty simple. तो इसके बाद हमारा दो सेगमेंट हमारी प्रिंट हो चुकी है. तो the third loop which we will be starting from is I equals to I would rather shift here. This is the first portion, this is the second portion, this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. For int I equals, we are now dealing with EC has already been shifted. So int I equals EC. I greater than equals to how much? I greater than equals to SR has already been there, and my column is 0 right now. So I greater than equals to 0, I minus minus. So since it is like this, so it will be SC here. Now what will I be printing? I will be printing A of, it is a column traversal, right? So what is the row? Row is end row and traversal is I. Cool? Completely fine. Now what I will be doing is ER will be minus minus, so that 13 से वो 9 पे आ जाए. I think now by this time you guys are pretty clear with how we should deal with this problem. Okay, so अब अपन 9 पे आ गए हैं, ठीक है? Now what I should do is I will now check. What will I check? One second. Now what I will do is I will now check if my end column, that is my ending column, is greater than starting column or not. If my ending column is greater than starting column or not, and only after that will I apply the final loop for the innermost elements. Okay, if my end column is greater than the starting column, then I will be applying the loop for the last segment, which is of course is not writing as usual. Now why are we checking this? Otherwise अगर हमने ये end वाली चीज check नहीं की ना कि if ending column and starting column हो रही है कि नहीं, अंदर element print ही नहीं होगा. The inner elements are not getting printed otherwise. समझे? अंदर वाली जो 6, 7, 11, 10 है वो print ही नहीं होगी वरना. So that check is essential for that inside element की printing. समझ में आई बात? तो after this checking we are then printing it. End column. Is it how we do it? Yeah, that is how we are doing it. So where did I end up last? We did er minus minus, that is er ended up here, right? तो अब हमें इस सेगमेंट को प्रिंट करना है. तो इस सेगमेंट को प्रिंट करने के लिए what we will be doing, int I equals to er, I greater than equals to sr I minus minus. Then pretty simply a of, that is of course this one, a of what we are doing, I, and the first column is sc. That is it, and that brings us to sc minus minus, sc plus plus. Why are we doing sc plus plus? Because अब जो हमारी starting column है वो shift होके यहाँ चली जाएगी, right? Starting column is now shifting, and यहाँ पे starting column shift हो चुकी है. हमारा अगला loop जो है which will again be starting from what? We will be starting from starting column हमारी कहाँ चली गई है? आगे चली गई है. So the next loop that we have done, where have we done the sc loop? sc, where is the sc loop? Yeah, so this is the sc loop. So the next loop sc has already been done, which is I equals to sc till ec lands up here, which means 7, sc lands up here, which means 6, 7 print ho jayegi. And then after that, eventually what we will be doing is we will be thinking about printing 7 and 11, but 7 has already been printed, which means that we will be printing only 11. And after that 11 will be printed, and similarly we will be printing 11 and 10, but 11 has already been printed, so we will be printing 10. So 6, 7 साथ में print होंगे, then 11 will be printed, then singularly 10 will be printed. So this is how spiral printing is done. I hope you have understood it very well. The assignment for this video is that you do it anti-clockwise. This is clockwise spiral printing of a 2-dimensional array. Homework that you have is that you have to print it anti-clockwise, that is ulta, this thing ऐसे print करनी है, ठीक है? And everything remains the same, logic different हो जाएगी. Just practice it because you never know what might come, and to have it practiced will give you more confidence that you have understood the logic. Okay, so this is how you should proceed when you deal with a spiral binding, when you deal with a spiral printing problem. Sorry, not spiral binding. And yeah, that is it. And up until the next video where I bring you another beautiful problem, do take care of yourself and don't stop coding. And if you have any doubts, do mention it in the comment section below. I will be more than happy to solve it. And do like, share, and comment section, and do like, share, and subscribe the channel as well. Bye bye.